If you tried manifesting before, visualizing, scripting, hoping, and nothing changed, it's because you were asking instead of deciding. Today, you are not hoping for a better timeline. You are entering it, using MDP, mental decision, dominant positioning. Your life does not respond to wishes. It responds to identity. MDP means mental decision. You decide who you are now. Dominant positioning. You position yourself as that identity, internally first, not waiting, not asking, not chasing. You move as if the shift already occurred. Repeat after me. First cycle, mental decision. I decide I no longer operate from insecurity. I decide my standards are non-negotiable. I decide I am the prize. I decide my presence carries weight. I decide to move differently from now on. I decide I deserve premium experiences. I decide my time is valuable. I decide access to me is earned. I decide to expect excellence. I decide to embody power quietly. I decide I am no longer available for chaos. I decide I respond, I do not react. I decide to think long-term. I decide I attract high-level rooms. I decide my energy is refined. I decide to speak with certainty. I decide to walk with intention. I decide to raise my internal bar. I decide to outgrow my old identity. I decide I belong at the top. I decide to align with wealth. I decide I am emotionally disciplined. I decide I no longer chase. I decide I select. I decide I am respected. I decide I move with elegance. I decide my silence is powerful. I decide to detach from low standards. I decide my life reflects sophistication. I decide to expect reciprocity. I decide I am rare. I decide my boundaries are firm. I decide I am deeply valuable. I decide I deserve devotion. I decide I deserve success. I decide my life upgrades now. I decide to embody authority. I decide to choose wisely. I decide I am emotionally elevated. I decide to operate at my highest level. I decide my mindset is elite. I decide I am no longer settling. I decide to become unforgettable. I decide I radiate quiet power. I decide to think strategically. I decide to trust my standards. I decide to honor my worth. I decide I am evolving rapidly. I decide to become untouchable. I decide this is my dominance era. Second cycle dominant positioning. I move like a woman who knows her value. I position myself where I am respected. I walk into rooms knowing I belong. I speak slowly and deliberately. I make decisions without hesitation. I hold eye contact with calm authority. I choose quality over quantity. I move in silence and let results speak. I command attention without demanding it. I allow others to rise to meet me. I do not explain my standards. I do not beg for understanding. I maintain composure under pressure. I carry myself with refinement. I observe before I act. I move strategically, not emotionally. I prioritize environments that match my level. I remove myself from anything beneath me. I expect premium treatment. I attract powerful alliances. I negotiate from strength. I control my emotional responses. I remain calm while others panic. I let silence create leverage. I make myself scarce and valuable. I choose alignment over attention. I invest in my growth. I maintain mystery. I radiate composure. I elevate every space I enter. I am not impressed easily. I choose partners who meet my frequency. I speak with clarity. I do not overshare. I lead with grace. I keep my circle selective. I operate with discipline. I hold myself accountable. I maintain high expectations. I embody strategic femininity. I walk away when standards are not met. I stay emotionally self-regulated. I protect my peace fiercely. I invest in long-term power. I act from self-respect. I create leverage quietly. I remain 10 steps ahead. I choose growth daily. I build influence naturally. I position myself as the standard. Third cycle, positioning. My life operates at executive level. My environment reflects structure and power. My presence alters the room. My name carries weight. My standards filter everything. My time is protected and allocated wisely. My decisions generate long-term leverage. My circle is curated. My lifestyle is intentional. My energy is disciplined. My boundaries are enforced without explanation. My silence creates authority. My composure creates dominance. My posture communicates power. My words are calculated. My focus eliminates distractions. My brand is unmistakable. My influence expands quietly. My strategy outpaces competition. My empire grows systematically. My habits compound into wealth. My discipline protects my future. My environment aligns with expansion. My investments are intentional. My moves are deliberate. My presence commands respect without effort. My standards elevate every interaction. My calendar reflects priority and power. My lifestyle signals authority. My execution is precise. My vision dictates my direction. My mindset operates at elite level. My leadership is calm and controlled. My resilience is unshakable. My reputation is refined. My expectations shape outcomes. My focus builds assets. My consistency builds dominance. My strategy builds wealth. My positioning builds power. My empire is structured. My influence compounds daily. My leverage increases constantly. My network operates at my level. My standards create separation. My execution builds authority. My composure protects my advantage. My discipline accelerates growth. My positioning secures outcomes. My empire operates under my command. You did not hope for change today. You declared it. MDP is not manifestation. It is identity control. Your timeline follows your positioning. Stay dominant.